first trimester video. The hair is giving Brian May. Like I said in the last video, I really just wanted to film like a log of everything that I went through in this pregnancy. Just because you forget so quickly, like even looking back at second trimester now, I can't remember much. I have to look back at the notes that I've made on apps and things like that. So I really just wanted to get these down so I can look back on them in the future and so I can just have them. I'm just going to get right into it. I'm just going to talk about the experiences and the symptoms that I had in the first trimester. So before finding out that I was pregnant, the only symptoms that I had were my boobs changed shape a little bit. They felt perkier, but I didn't even think about being pregnant, so I didn't notice that as a symptom until like I looked back on it. And then the day before I did a test, so the day before I was due on my period, I had sort of light cramping, which was basically the same as period cramping anyway. So again, I didn't think that was a pregnancy symptom. I just thought I was coming on my period. After I did the test and I knew I was pregnant, literally the week after, I started to get more cramping, so more like period type cramping and bloating as well. Felt like I looked pregnant straight away. Obviously, it wasn't baby or anything, it is just bloating. But yeah, period type cramping and bloating at 4 weeks pregnant. At 5 weeks pregnant, my boobs did start to get a little bit tender, but I wouldn't say it was constant or anything like that. It was just like every now and again I'd notice it. I was actually really lucky in the first trimester because I didn't get any of your typical like tiredness, sickness, didn't feel nauseous, which I am lucky about because obviously first trimester was a little bit of a breeze for me in comparison to what some people go through. But at the same time, it sort of taunted me as well because I wasn't entirely sure that everything was okay. I didn't get any bleeding or anything like that, so I didn't go for an early scan. So we literally waited until the 12-week scan to find out that everything was okay. So I actually kept doing tests throughout my first trimester just to put my mind at ease. So yeah, no sickness, no tiredness, nothing like that. So all these like little symptoms like cramping, bloating, a lot of stuff with food, which I'll go on to as well. They were the only things I had to go on that everything was okay. It's also really strange how your symptoms change from week to week. You think, you know, you'll have a couple of weeks of this, a couple of weeks of that, and it will change gradually. It really doesn't. It's so sudden. Like one day you've got one symptom and then the next day you've got another. So moving on to 6 weeks pregnant, that's when I started to get the symptoms like around food. At 6 weeks pregnant, I was so hungry. It didn't matter what time I ate, how much I ate, what I ate. I was starving all the time. Next week, I had loads of food aversions. So literally 1 week I was starving, could eat anything. I was like, Alex, get me this, this and this. He got me some of my favourite foods. And then literally the next week, so 7 weeks pregnant, I hated so much food. I just wanted bland food. I didn't want anything with flavour. I wanted things like plain pasta, mashed potato, really craved mashed potato. I had a mashed potato sandwich at one point. The things that Alex had bought me the week previously, so like my favourite, I think it was like a sriracha sauce, or like my favourite hot sauce that I have on everything. Couldn't eat it anymore. There was also like a Korean sauce, like a Korean meal we used to have, and I could not stomach it. Even the smell, the thought of it, even now makes me feel like, oh no, like it sort of traumatizes you a little bit when you go off foods that much. Because even now, I think, oh no, that probably lasted around, I'd say about 3 4 weeks. The food aversions where I only wanted to eat plain and bland food. So that was, I'd say, 7 8 week 7 8 9. I also did get a little bit of constipation for a couple of weeks in the same time. I didn't feel hormonal, like I didn't get teary, like I didn't feel hormonal or teary or anything. The only time that I remember that I got upset was when Alex put some food in front of me. I can't remember what it was. I remember it was like rice with some beans mixed in and like some veg. And I looked at it, I looked down, I was like looked up. I remember feeling just really disappointed and upset at my dinner. And I looked at him and I was like, I feel really emotional. And he was like, why are you crying? I literally started crying over my dinner because I don't know why. I don't know if it was because I was disappointed at the dinner or if I was just emotional, but I just didn't want to eat it. And yeah, I just felt disappointed by that meal. So that was funny, but that's literally the only time I've got emotional in this whole pregnancy, I think. Obviously, I've got emotional about other stuff that warrant being emotional about, but nothing else like crying at my dinner. At week 10 and 11, not much really occurred. I started eating normally again. Felt okay in myself, was still a little bit constipated. And then we had the 12-week scan. I think I was about 12 weeks and either 3 or 4 days pregnant. And that's when my symptoms started to just subside, really. Not that I had that many anyway, but I could just eat normally again from about 11, 12 weeks onwards. And then obviously we got the all okay at the 12-week scan. Everything was fine, which was a massive weight off my shoulders because, like I said, I wasn't getting those like major symptoms of tiredness and and sickness and nausea or anything like that. So we just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. And that 12 weeks was so long. Like I think it was the longest period of this pregnancy, just counting the days down until I was able to get that scan. We could have obviously got an earlier one, but I didn't see the point because, anything, obviously anything can go wrong at any point, but 7, 8 weeks, even if we got a scan, something still might have happened. All in all, first trimester was actually a breeze. I had the odd symptom here and there, but nothing distressing, nothing that really stopped me from doing anything. The main things were food related, so being hungry for a week and then hating any sort of flavour, any sort of sauce I couldn't have. Like I said, I just want mashed potato all the time. There was a brief period where I wanted fresh fruit, but I'd say that literally lasted like a couple of days, if that. So yeah, not much going on in the first trimester, but obviously now that I know that everything was okay, I'm really grateful for how that went. Not much more to say on that. I'll do another video on the second trimester as soon as I can.